many of you here loves playing tennis? Okay, good. Did you watch the U.S. Tennis Opens last month? Anyone who watched the U.S. Tennis Opens? No? Okay, no, okay. I watched some of it, okay? And a lot of people were glued in to the TV because they were watching these two teenagers, okay? One is a 19-year-old Leylah Fernandez, okay? So that's the picture of Leylah Fernandez, the one on the left there. She's from Canada, and she also, her mother is from the Philippines, okay? And on the right there is an 18-year-old Emma Raducanu from Great Britain, okay? So she was born here in Canada and then went to England when she was 2 years old. And I think her mom is Chinese, okay? So what's so fascinating about this is that Leylah, the 19 years old, was number 72 in the ranking of tennis, okay? And she was able to beat the number 2 out of the top 5, okay, in tennis. So that's why she was able to get into the finals of the US Open Women's Finals. And Emma Raducanu, 19 years old, was number 150. And she was a qualifier, means she needs to beat, in the qualifying rounds to be able to go to the US Open. And after several rounds, she did not drop any set. It means every set she won, okay? And so she was able to go to the finals. And people were watching. People were just so inspired. Celebrities, politicians, the Queen of England congratulated Emma. Our Prime Minister here congratulated Leylah for being able to go to the US Open Women's Finals. And it's just so beautiful. It's just so inspiring to see two young teenagers, 18 and 19. Okay? They were beating those who were 20, 30, and they went to the US finals. In fact, more people were watching the US Open Women's Finals than the men's finals. Because it's just so inspiring. Okay? Of course, what happened there was Emma, the one on the right, won. Okay? She won, and it's just so beautiful. And I would just like to share with you that these two teenagers did not just inspire the adults, but they also inspired even the young ones. Okay? So I'm just going to show with you a video of Emma going back to her primary school. Okay? Could you show that, the video?
I wanted to come back and visit all the kids, and especially because it's sports day. I had the best memories at this school at sports day. We all had so much fun and it was so competitive. I think even from that age everyone just wanted to win. On your marks, get set! I couldn't believe it. I didn't expect it at all. How excited they were to see me. Come on, all the way! All the way!
So you see how Emma inspired those who were in her primary school. They just looked up to her. They were just so happy to see her after winning this US Open, right? And so I'll just like to share with you another video of Emma when she was 11 years old. Okay? So this is the 11 years old Emma when she was 11 years old.
You have had a long week here. How has the competition been all week?
I've had a few tough matches, but I managed to pull my game together and get through them, and I'm glad to make the final. And it was a tough match today. She played really well. I think I played quite well, but unfortunately she won.
Do you dream of being a professional player one day?
Yes, because I like competing and I like travelling around the world and playing.
So tell me, who are your tennis sporting heroes?
I like Lena because she has like a really good work ethic, and she's got really good movement around the court. And Roger Federer from the men because he just moves around so swiftly and makes it look easy.
Andy Murray has won the US Open and Wimbledon. Do you one day dream of being a Grand Slam champion?
Yeah, I know it's really hard work, but hopefully if I like work on my game and pull it together, then maybe it will happen one day.
Okay, I hope you were inspired by that. Okay, in that game, she lost. She lost to the other girl there. She was asked, right? She was asked if she wants to win, like in a big tournament. And she said, of course she would like to win. And but she said it will take hard work. Okay, both Emma and Layla did not just wake up one day and then just get into the US Open. Okay, they put a lot of hard work in so that they'll be able to go to the US Open. And I'd just like to share with you, both Layla and Emma, they have grit. What is grit? Have you heard of grit? How many of you have heard of grit? Grit, okay. Maybe there's different definition of what grit is. But grit is, okay, what is grit? Grit is the power of passion and perseverance. Okay? So there's power, there's passion, there's perseverance. You add all of that, that's grit. Okay? And I've read this book, Grit by Angela Duckworth. You could borrow it in the library, or you could purchase it on Amazon. It's a good read. It's so inspiring. I've read it. And both Emma and Layla, they had grit. Okay? And grit, it's not like you were born to have that grit. Okay? Now, it depends. What is your mindset? Okay? Now, there are two mindsets. One is a mindset of a growth mindset. That when there's failure, you see failure as an opportunity to grow. Whereas a fixed mindset, you see failure as a limit of your abilities. Okay? So you have to ask yourselves, I'm not going to ask you what mindset you have, but you have to ask yourselves, what mindset do you have? A growth mindset or a fixed mindset? And you would know when it comes to failure. How many of you here have failed? I failed so many times. I could even raise my I failed so many times. Okay? But the growth mindset, we see failure as an opportunity to grow. So I hope all of us would have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. So when we have a growth mindset, it means that we could grow in grit. Okay? Just like, 11-year-old Emma Raducanu. 11-year-old. Who's 11 years old here? Okay. You could be future famous tennis players. You could be famous, whatever. Right? By having that grit, you will become somebody that would inspire a lot of people, like Emma and Layla. Okay? Now, growth, as I've said, grit, we could let it grow. And there's two ways of letting it grow. One is growing grit from the inside out. And there are four steps to do that. Okay? The first one is interest. You need to know what you're passionate about. And you could see from Emma and Layla, they're passionate about tennis. They're passionate about tennis. That they're willing, even at a very young age, to practice and to train so that they will get better and better and better. So what you have to do is, you have to ask yourselves, what are you passionate about? And sometimes it takes a while for you to get to know what you're passionate about. For me, I'm passionate about preaching. I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about being a priest. But when I was like 11 years old, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm passionate about. So it's okay. Okay? But it takes trial and error until you will be able to know, this is what I'm passionate about. Okay? So it's a process that you have to go through. Okay? The second one is practice. Okay? Just like Emma Raducanu and Leila, they had to practice. They need to instill that habit, that discipline of training, of practicing every day in and day out, in season and out of season. They need to practice. Okay? And even though sometimes they're tired of practicing anymore, tired of practicing, but because of their passion for tennis, they continue practicing. That's why your interest of something is gonna help you. During the times we're in, you're tired already, or you get discouraged. Okay? So practice is important. Now, the third is purpose. Whatever you're doing, it must have purpose. Okay? Now, purpose is not just talking about goal-oriented. No, it's not more than that. It's the why. Why are you doing this? Okay, for me, if you ask me, what is my why in being a priest? Okay? My why, my purpose, my mission statement is to inspire great sinners like me to become great saints. That's my why. That's what that's my purpose of being a priest. That's what make me do what I love doing. Okay? So you need to have a purpose. Okay? That's what, and your purpose matters to you, to others, and to society. That's why, playing video games, maybe some of you, that's your interest. I don't know if there's purpose to that, right? Okay? Because of course, if you're just the one having pleasure or entertainment in video games and it doesn't have any impact on others and on society, maybe you could just do that as a pastime, but not train to become the world's best video game player. Right? Okay? So we need to have a purpose, and the purpose matters to you, to others, and to society. There's a parable of the bricklayers. How many of you have heard of the parable of the bricklayers? No? Okay. There's 3 bricklayers, and there's one question that was asked to the 3. And the question is this: why do you lay down bricks? The first one said, I'm laying bricks. The second one answered, I'm building a church. The third one says, I'm building the house of God. The first one took what he's doing as a job. The second one took whatever he's doing as a career. Okay? And the third one took what he's doing as a calling. Okay? So you need to find what is your calling. And for me, it took a while. It took so many years. I was a late vocation. I joined the seminary when I was already 36 years old. Old enough to be your father. Okay? It took me a while. Later on, that I will be able to know what my calling is. So you need to know what you're calling. Okay? The fourth one is hope. Okay? What is hope? Hope is there's an expectation that our own efforts can improve our future. Okay, that's hope. Because if you don't know, if you think that there's no reason, or you're not going to improve, things will not get better or whatever, you will not have hope. You will just get discouraged. And when you don't have hope, you'll just get discouraged. That's why hope is very important. Hope is that expectation that our own efforts can improve our future. Now, there's a difference between saying, I have a feeling tomorrow will be better, compared to saying, I resolve to make tomorrow better. Okay? There's an effort that is needed. You don't just wake up, oh, things are better. No, you have to work for it. Okay? So, now, as I've said, this is growing your grit from the inside out. There's another way, is growing your grit from the outside in. Okay? And here, this is where mentors are very important. Who are the mentors? Your parents, teachers, coaches, Father Mark, Cesar, your youth minister, right? You need mentors to help you develop that grit. And in this diagram, you see there's the horizontal of demanding, or of undemanding to demanding. And then there's the vertical of unsupportive to supportive. Okay? So let's just go one quadrant to another. The first quadrant is that it's your undemanding, your unsupportive, that your mentor, meaning your mentor, is undemanding and unsupportive. Okay? And what happened there is that there's just specific, your mentor is just being permissive. Oh, do whatever you want, no problem. Okay? So, unsupportive and undemanding. That's the first quadrant, the permissive. Now, permissive is supportive and undemanding. Okay, I got it wrong. Okay, supportive, but undemanding. Okay, so the next quadrant is undemanding and unsupportive, and that's where just being neglectful. Your mentor is just being neglectful towards you. Okay. Now the other one is unsupportive but very demanding. Okay? If that's the case, then your mentor is kind of authoritative. It's like an authoritarian. Okay? It's like a slave driver. Okay? That's unsupportive but very demanding. Okay? And so what we want is to have mentors who are in the upper right quadrant, which is the wise one. And the wise one, they're both supportive and demanding. Okay? How many of you here have teachers who are like that? Supportive, but also at the same time demanding. Raise your hands. Okay? Can you say that you learn more in that class than in other class? Can you say that? Right? There's a way for these teachers, because they're very demanding, but at the same time supportive, it brings out the best in you. And that's what you need to look for in a mentor. Both demanding and supportive. Okay? What also is very important is being part of a group who has this like grit culture, striving for the best. It's like running, right? If you're just running by yourself, maybe you'll just run 3 kilometers. But if you're with a group who runs 5K, even though you don't like running 5K, I think you're going to make it just by running with them. So it's the same. That's why it's good that you're in this youth group. Okay? You're not by yourself. You're not alone in your room at the house watching TV or playing video games or whatever. You're here because you are learning from each other. You're inspired by the witness of this youth leader or this youth member. You want to be like them, right? You inspire each other. And that's the most important thing. You're having this grit culture. You want waste your time on a Friday night to be here from 7 to 9:30. I'm just amazed. Some of you do not even want to go home. Your parents already, let's go home, it's late. Where do you find that? Okay? Because you see value. You see value here in this group. Or else you won't waste your time here. There's other things that you could do on a Friday night. Right? Right? Yes or no? Yes. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay? So, another thing is with grit, Father Mark was talking about being crazy Canadians. This grit, you could also apply in any way. This winter season, you could also apply grit. Find something that interests you. Okay? Maybe walking, or cross-country skiing, skating, whatever. And then just practice. I came from the Philippines. There's no winter there. I came here so afraid of the cold. I dread winter. But last year, I said, this is going to be the best winter of my life. So I went out. I forced myself, cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, skating, snowshoeing, even winter camping. In the snow, winter camping. And I started to enjoy it. Okay, so you could practice this grit, those 4 things. What's the purpose? Well, if you feel better during winter, it will help your relationship with others. You will be not depressed or less depressed. Okay, maybe you'll get better in your school. Okay, so these are a lot of advantages of really going out during winter. Because if you just stay inside the house because it's cold and you don't want to force yourself to go out, there's a chance that you have you heard of the SAD? SAD? It's a seasonal affective disorder. It is during winter people would have this. SAD, seasonal affective disorder, where they start to getting lonely. They start to getting depressed. Because we need sunlight. We need to be out in the nature there. We need to be with other people. That's why I encourage you, it's fun to be with others. So maybe call up, some of the youth members here or youth leaders. Hey, let's go out snowshoeing or skating at the canal. I'll join you. Invite me, I'll join you. Okay? Even one winter camp, I'll invite you for winter camping. Anyone wants to go with winter camping? Okay. Okay. So another way that you could also apply grit is in the spiritual life. And this is the most important thing. Okay? Because our spiritual life really matters. Okay? So, do you know that all of us are called to be saints? Okay? All are called to be saints. Young, old, men, women, whatever race, color, we're all called to be saints. But maybe some of you think, me? You're telling me that I could be a saint? I have that kind of idea too. God, you know me, you know my sinfulness, you know my past. You're calling me to be a saint? I have that question in myself also. But Oscar Wilde said this: all saints have a past, and all sinners have a future. How many are sinners here, like me? Okay. Okay? We have a future. Okay? And all the saints, they have their past. Okay? Saint Augustine was a womanizer. Okay? Blessed Bartolo Longo was a satanic priest. Do you know that? Blessed Bartolo Longo was a satanic priest who is blessed right now. Okay? You know, and I could mention even other saints. And people would say that youth, you're the youth. Have you heard of the saying, youth is the future of the church? Have you heard that? Have you heard that? Okay. For me, I think that's baloney. Because you are not the future of the church. You are the present. Because when you say you're the future of the church, it's like right now, it's like you're insignificant. You don't play a role. You don't contribute anything. It's only in the future that you will be able to do that. That's why I said that's baloney. Okay? You could contribute, you could make a big difference even now, even at your age. Okay? So, St. Paul spoke to Timothy. Timothy was very young in ministry. And this is what St. Paul said to St. Timothy: don't let anyone look on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and purity. Okay? So you could be an example. You could be a witness. You could be an inspiration, not just to the young, but also to the adult, by setting an example in your speech, the way you talk, okay? In your conduct, the way you act, okay? In love, the way you serve or share or whatever, okay? In faith, in your faith. And also, this is very important, in purity. There's a lot of impurity out there, okay? So by doing this, you are setting a good witness. You are being an inspiration to other people. Okay? So maybe some of you would ask, okay, how can I become a saint? How can I become a saint? Okay? And I would like to share with you a simple mathematical equation. Okay? So, how many of you here loves mathematics? Okay. Okay? I love math. Okay? So 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. Okay? Simple. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay? Even if you're sleeping, I think you'll be able to say that, right? 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. Now, I'll give you a mathematical equation in becoming a saint. Capital W plus small w equals S. What's the significance of the capital W? Yeah. Huh? Greater. No. Not that. Yeah. God's will. The big W is God's will. What is the small w? Our will. Okay? So, if you align your will to the will of the Father, day in, day out, you will become a saint. Okay? And, I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. I still sin. Okay? But when we sin, we repent. And after we repent, we begin again. Okay? So, it seems simple, right? Simple. Capital W plus small w equals S. It seems simple. Is it easy? Who says yes? It's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, that's why we need to have that grit. Because we will fail. There were times wherein we will fail. But what are you going to do? When you fail, you're just going to get discouraged and give up? Or you will find that strength, Lord, grant me the grace, I will begin again. Every day is a new beginning. Okay? I will begin again. Okay? I'll say no to sin, and I'll say yes to you. One day at a time. And when you die in the state of grace, you become a saint. Maybe not a canonized saint by the church, but a saint. Because you will go to heaven. In heaven, there are only angels and saints there. Okay? That's why if you say you want to go to heaven, you're also saying you want to become a saint. Okay? So, now, who are the saints? Okay? These are some of the young saints. Okay? Their ages are from 9 to 14. Anyone here ages 9 to 14? Raise your hands. Okay? There's a lot of you. Okay? These saints, 9 to 14, maybe some of you know them. Saint Jacinta Marto, and also Saint Francisco Marto, visionaries of Fatima, right? They're 9 and 10. Saint Maria Goretti. Okay, how many of you here knows about Saint Maria Goretti? 11 years old. Okay? Saint Philomena, 13 years old. Okay? And there's others, Saint Dominic Savio, 14 years old. Okay? But maybe you would say, oh, these saints, oh, they're in the past. Right now, it's hard to become saints like that at this age, at this time. Okay, I'll share with you two saints. This is, her name is Blessed Chiara Luce Badano. Okay? Blessed Chiara Luce Badano, she's popular with her friends. She has lots of friends. She loves playing sports. She loves to sing, dance, and she loves to play tennis. One day, she felt pain while playing tennis. And the doctor discovered that there's cancer. So at the age of 17, she got paralyzed. She was in bed. Okay? And this is what she said. She offered everything to God. Okay? She said, for you, Jesus, if you want it, I want it too. Okay? And I hope all of us could imitate her. Jesus, if you want it, I want it too. Okay? That's aligning your will to the will of God. Okay? Capital W plus small w equals S. Okay? And so here we see here how she also said here in this quote, if I had to choose between walking again and going to heaven, I wouldn't hesitate. I would choose heaven. That's how determined she is to go to heaven. No matter what suffering, she would willing to endure just to be able to go to heaven. She's one of my favorite saints. You know why? She was born of the same year as me, 1971. She was born of the same month, October, but not the same day. She was born on October 29. I was born October 20. She is just 9 days younger than me. If it's possible for her to become a saint, I said, it's possible also for me to be a saint. Okay? Her feast day is coming up on October 29. Okay? Okay. So she died in 1989. So just recently also. Okay, 1989. Maybe you were not born yet. Okay, another saint, a young saint. I'm sure Father Mark have shared with you about Blessed Carlo Akutis. Okay, so Blessed Carlo Akutis, he loves computers. He's a genius. Okay, and he used he used this gift that he has to spread the faith. So what happened there is that one of the significant computer ventures that he did was cataloging all the Eucharistic miracles of the world. Okay? And he said, this was his passion. Okay? This was his interest, and he had this grit. He says, the more Eucharist we receive, the more we will become like Jesus. So that on this earth, we will have a foretaste of heaven. You see? Again, these saints, they're thinking about heaven. They want to go there. Even while living in this world, they want to have a foretaste of heaven. And that's what happened. Whenever we receive the Eucharist, we are having a foretaste of heaven. Okay? So he died of leukemia at age 15 on October 12, 2006. Today is October 15. So just 3 days ago, just celebrated the 15th anniversary of his death. And this is what he said in this quote. What does it matter if you can win 1,000 battles if you cannot win against your own corrupt passions? It doesn't matter. The real battle is with ourselves. What great wisdom. Age 15, he could quote something like this, that the real battle is not out there. It's in us. The passion in us that is destroying us, that is leading us away from God. That is the real battle. Okay? And his feast day is yesterday, October 14. So tonight, we're asking the intercession of Blessed Carlo Akutis and also Blessed Chiara Luce Badano. For graces that all of us will become saints. Even canonized saints. Okay? Saint Juliana, Saint Amelie, or Saint John, right? That we will be raised up as a saint in the church. I really believe that the Lord right now is raising an army of young people. Young people who are madly in love with Jesus and with this church, and there's a desire to evangelize the world. How many of you here are here because somebody invited you? Raise your hand. Okay. The one who invited you, I don't know if you know it, they've evangelized you. They brought you here. And you see the transformation happening in your life right now. Okay? So we need more like that. So I hope all of you would go out. Just share the good news of what the Lord is doing in your life in this youth group. And then just start inviting. Maybe a lot of them would say no, but I'm sure some of them would say yes. Okay? And they will be here before Jesus. And let Jesus transform them. Okay? So I truly believe that the Lord is raising up an army of young saints. And it is only the saints that will change the world. Amen?